Yes, thank you. Mrs. Van Meteren, Chairman, is rightfully concerned about the European Union, which once again with this report is going to expand its scope. There will be a large support fund and undoubtedly pensions will be restricted. It's all in that report. And now my question, Chairman, through you to the PVV. There is really, at least that's what we think, only one way to stop this, and that's an exit. And the PVV is no longer in favor of that. So I wonder, how does Mrs. Van Meteren view this? Because this train, what Mrs. Van Meteren is saying is, it just keeps on going. So how are we going to stop this train? Isn't an exit the only way? And why is the PVV against that? I just don't understand that.
Mrs. Van Meteren.
Well, Chair, as Mr. Van Houwelingen also knows, we have in our pro-government program, or actually in our non-government program, in our party platform, stated that we wanted a binding referendum. Right, you have even a different referendum. We supported your initiative last year. Only now we are in a coalition. At this moment, that's simply not on the table. And yes, that's just not up for discussion right now.
Mr. Van Houwelingen.
Yes, thank you, Chair, for your answer. I understand that you are in a coalition and that you also supported our proposal. Many thanks for that. My point, of course, is the PVV was always in favor of an exit, but now no longer is. I understand that within the coalition you can't achieve an exit right now, I get that. But then once again my question, how is it possible that the PVV, as a party that was always in favor of an exit, that always saw that this train could only be stopped by stepping out, now suddenly says, even as a party, yes, we are no longer in favor of an exit? That is incomprehensible to me, Chair.
Mrs. Van Meteren.
Well, Mr. President, we are still in favor of ultimately having a binding referendum. So if that might still take place in the future.
Thank you, Chair. But if that referendum does happen, thank you, Chair, then the PVV will have to take a position, right? And then my question is, will you then, and is it your position as the PVV to fight with us for an exit, or yes, what will you do if that referendum happens?
Mrs. Van Meteren.
Well, I assume that if the referendum happens, we will support it. So, but we'll see when the time comes. It's not relevant at this moment.
I'm still going to try once more. It's not relevant now, but the voters want to know. The voters have voted for you. They want to know, is the PVV for or against an exit? Your party leader was here recently, right? When my party leader interrupted to say, well, we're no longer in favor of an exit because that's just not feasible. That's what your party leader said. And what does that mean then? It's no longer feasible. As a party, you have to fight for that. We are fighting for that. So yes.
Well, Chairman, of course I agree with my parliamentary group leader that at this moment it is not feasible. And we are in favor of good cooperation, so we also don't just want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So that's what it's about for now. At this moment it is not on the table and we are not opting for an exit right now.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Van Houwelingen, you only have 6, you know. You've already used 4.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Yes.
So now I'm just trying to get this really clear. So it's not on the table right now, but what does that mean? It's not on the table right now. The PVV does have a position, right? Yes or no? You're either for or against an exit. And I understand that there isn't an exit referendum at the moment, but does the PVV, through the chair, does the PVV want an exit or not? That's my question.
We have said, and it's also stated in our platform, that we want to hold a binding referendum on this, and that's where I want to leave it. That's my answer.